All right, so welcome to the third episode of Exotic Auto Trade, the podcast. I have Julian Mesika here with me. Cheers.
How we doing, guys?
We have a very interesting episode ahead of us today. Julian has seen a tremendous amount of success in the past year or two being in the car business. Him and I both started at Audi. Well, that was the first time we worked together, was when I was at Audi here in Atlanta. And but why don't you kick us off here? Tell us a little bit about you, like where you're from, how you ended up in Atlanta, and where you're at, basically. Let's just kick us off.
Okay. So got into the business back in 16. This month is actually my 8-year anniversary.
This month?
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Cheers to that, dude.
Yeah.
Another cheers to that.
L'chaim, brother.
8 years.
Yeah.
8 years in the business total?
Total.
Okay.
It's been a long time. Little hiatus in about halfway through for about a year. And then got back into it in Atlanta when I moved back up here. Or not back up here, but up here.
Yeah.
Bounced around quite a bit in South Florida. Kind of did what they call the SoFlo Shuffle.
What's the SoFlo Shuffle? The South Florida Shuffle.
There you go.
Okay.
And, took a little while to find a home. Ended up finding a couple different places to open up with our fleet departments, working with brokers, stuff like that.
In Miami?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're from Miami originally?
Yeah.
You were born there?
Born in San Francisco, but parents moved to Miami when I was 2, so
When you
grew
were
up there.
2. Okay. You grew up in Miami?
Yeah.
Okay. So then what was the first place you worked at?
First place in the car business?
I guess like even maybe a little bit before that, right? Because maybe your resume before you started at the first dealership helped you get that first one. Maybe. So you tell me.
One of the first retail positions I guess I took was Journeys.
At Journeys? Okay.
Yeah, in high school, man.
All right, the shoe store.
Shout
out to Journeys.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
And that was like the only retail-facing position I had on my resume when I walked into Lexus in North Miami. But I got lucky. They remembered me because when I was 18, I worked there as a service drive porter, like one of the service valets.
At where?
At Lexus of North Miami.
Okay.
And
see, but Journey is like working at Journeys, I mean, at any retail store, right? And we're prefacing this episode to basically talk to people that may be out there that are interested in getting into the car business, right? That's kind of the premise of the episode. I mean, just the podcast in general, like talking about people that and their whole journey, right? Because, I mean, think about Journeys. I know people that even sell car washes, right? There's upselling involved. There's in that short interaction you have with someone that comes in that's looking at shoes, you build a relationship with them, you help them out, you get them what they want, you maybe show them stuff that they don't know even exists, and they end up buying a shoe. So it's all sales,
I mean, the initial process back then was bring out the one that they asked for and 2 replacements.
Two replacements.
Just to have something else to show them.
Okay.
And then on top of that too, by the time you go from bringing out that first set of shoes to the time that you close it at the register, you got to add in the ancillary products, the socks, the this, the that.
The cleaning stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was always part of like the goals there. And then, that at 16 years old, learning that and having that as a base. Mm-hmm. I mean, look at car sales. Look at what we do there.
Yeah, 100%. So then you were at Journeys. And then what? Did you go to school and stuff? And there was a gap between when you got the job at Lexus?
So that was in high school, and graduated high school. Went on to college at FIU.
Okay.
And right before starting FIU full time was when I worked at Lexus as a service porter.
Oh.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go to school. I'll figure something else out because the hours there weren't working. Yeah. Obviously, there's nothing in the car business that coincides with anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And decided to leave that altogether. 3 years in school, bounced around, just kind of doing whatever jobs along the way. Yeah,
right.
Anything that kind of worked for a little bit. I was a security guard for a while.
Okay.
I mean, just sitting in my booth on my own island, and that was about it. Mm-hmm. Boring.
What made you get that job at Lexus, and how did you get it?
So the service porter job or in sales?
Yeah, service porter.
So friend of the family was actually a GM at the store that time.
Okay.
And that's when I got in there and then got offered, like, stick around, don't go to school, stick in sales. I'll make sure you're okay, take care of you, whatever. Mm-hmm. I should have stuck around.
You didn't listen?
No.
Okay. All right. Fair
no,
enough.
big regret.
Fair enough.
But you live and learn, you know. And 3 years later, walked back into that place. He was no longer the GM there at the time.
Okay.
One of the managers did remember me though.
Okay.
And got interviewed on spot. You know, I walked in suit and tie, big not fitted suit, like who let me leave the house like that, all that good stuff. And you know, one of the first things that they asked me was like, what makes you think you're ready to sell cars? I was like, there's nothing I enjoy talking more about, and on top of that, I just get to sit here, meet new people, and make new friends every day.
Yeah.
What more could I ask for?
Okay.
And
were you into cars? You were big into cars?
loved them, always.
Okay.
Always have. You know, like, had friends with SRT, South Florida, a little bit different.
Yeah.
90s clapped out Civics, Hellcats, and everything in between, you know?
Okay.
Not much into like German or anything like that just yet. We were still kind of, you know, just high school kids, nothing crazy.
Fast and the Furious days, JDM stuff. Yeah. I get
Well,
it.
that's how all of us really got into it, you know? I mean,
100%.
those movies were what got all of us into cars.
Bro, I've watched Fast and the Furious like 100 times.
For family, always.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah.
So we got that position, and mind you, that was the #1 volume store in the country at the time.
For Lexus?
Yeah.
Really?
They were doing around, I think it was like 1,800 or 2,000 cars a month.
Wow.
So you're looking
So
at
how many salespeople were there?
60.
60?
There were 60 salespeople.
60.
60.
Wow. That's crazy.
Okay. Monday through Sunday, 9 to 9, the place is operating like a well-oiled machine.
Okay. Monday through Saturday or Sunday? Because I know
Sunday.
Yeah, Florida.
There's
you can
this
be
whole
open on Sunday.
We got the Bible Belt here, so it's nice.
Yeah,
We're off on
you
Sundays.
Get off on Sundays in Georgia. Yeah.
That's not a thing in Florida, man.
I know.
I mean, if anything, you'd rotate and maybe you'd get lucky. You had 2 Sundays off a month. The other 2 you're working.
Yeah, that sounds like the Fletcher Jones store, the Fletcher Jones Mercedes store in Newport or Orange County. Dude, their operation is huge. They got 20, I think like 30, 40 salespeople there. I might be wrong, but people out there might know. But their secret was they got this car wash on the side, and if you buy a car from there, you get free car washes. And it's just like a tunnel run, car wash, but people love it. But then there's a long line for people to get their car washed. And you know what happens? You go over into the dealership, you're like, I don't like my car anymore, it's dirty. And
time to upgrade.
It's time to upgrade.
Instead of getting a free wash, let's detail the new one for you.
Get a brand new one, yeah, exactly. But anyways,
it's amazing how how long those free washes go though, because Lexus North Miami did the same thing. So their thing was you had a free wash, complimentary whenever you wanted to come by.
Okay.
Free coffee, free bagel, free toast, whatever. And
Nice.
cafe on site, obviously. When you have that many people there, you got to have a cafe on site.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, the place was a madhouse, bro. You're talking
Really?
over 200 service appointments a day.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then you got the job.
And stuck around for about 5 months, I think.
Okay.
Downside was I met my ex at the time.
Okay.
Management didn't like that, we got together. So got on.
She worked there?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And then I learned my favorite phrase, you don't shit where you eat.
Exactly. Yep. Take that note down real quick.
Yeah. Mistakes of a young 20-year-old, yeah.
Yeah. We've all been there.
It's okay, you live and
been
learn,
there.
bro.
Yeah. Yeah. So that lasted for 5 months because of that.
And then
Did she get fired too?
No, we both quit.
Okay.
It was a double suicide right there at the desk in front of all the managers. We crossed
Romeo
our
and
names.
Juliet.
Yeah, we crossed our names off the schedule and we're like, yeah, we're out. Bye guys.
See ya.
Cheerio.
Okay.
And so then I went on to Toyota for a bit. I got recommended over there by a friend.
Okay.
And was there for just short of a year.
Okay.
I wanted to open up a fleet department down there. Didn't get the opportunity, so I went and found somewhere where I did get the opportunity.
So you wanted to open a fleet department at Toyota, but they didn't want you to.
Well, no, they let somebody else from outside come take that role, and I was like, okay. So I'm just going to get on. I'm not.
And how long were you there before that?
Just short of a year.
Short of a year, okay. Okay. And then where'd you go after that?
Honda,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so see, this is interesting. So from Lexus, Toyota, Honda, high volume stores,
yes.
relatively speaking, right? So what was that like? Like, I mean, we're just churning and burning cars and
That's it.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't matter what the deal loses. Who cares? I mean, yes, we knew our line in the sand, but it's nothing compared to what it was, a few years back.
Yeah.
That everything changed, and then it was just blowing out cars.
Right.
You got to hit the number. We got to get to 110, 120% of objective. There's some kickback money from the manufacturer when you get there, and that's it.
Yeah.
It all makes sense.
So how many cars were you selling at those 3 stores on average, roughly every month?
So the Lexus store we already went over, about 2K.
Uh-huh.
2K units, and then you got at the Toyota store.
No, per month, like you specifically.
Myself?
Yeah.
I was just in the mid-teens, nothing crazy.
When you first started, that's normal, yeah.
Plenty of months, 14, 15, 16. Then when I got to the fleet thing at Honda, I started doing between 25 to 29 a month, never cracked 30.
So you did get the fleet thing at Honda?
Yes.
Okay.
That was why I left Toyota with the intention of going to start that over there at Honda.
And did you get these gigs to be able to go to the next store because you knew someone there and they would pull you in or something? Or
No, I just walked in.
Oh, okay.
I just walked in and I was like, who's the GSM? Who's the GM? Let me sit with them. This is what I can offer. This is the book of business that I bring to the table. These are what the deals are going to look like. And I can guarantee you, upwards of 20 units a month. You guys want to play ball?
Okay.
That was it.
And they were like, all right.
Yeah, cool. Sign here. Let's get it on.
And how old were you around this time?
23.
23. Okay. And then, so when you are doing fleet sales and you're selling that many cars, you're not sitting there and delivering each and every one of them, are you?
Every last one.
Oh, you are?
I did every single one. I was doing at-home deliveries for the brokers too. I'd meet them there with the paperwork, bring the car to the client, verify all the signatures and the paperwork where needed, and head back to the store after.
I thought fleet was more when like corporate companies come in and make a deal.
So fleet here in Atlanta is considered those.
Okay.
Fleet down in South Florida is just typically broker departments.
Got it. So specifically working with brokers in Miami, yeah. Yeah, okay.
So that was a lot of fun. But not just Miami. I mean, from New York, I got a couple now in California too that I deal with. Well, not
now
so
you're
much.
saying.
Not so much now, but prior in the last few years, yeah.
Okay. So you delivered every single car and you'd even, okay. Now, those deals would kind of come in because those guys need cars. They have their own book of business, and whenever any of their clients need a Honda, they just hit you up. You just immediately give them a discount of something? And
So we had a program set up where it was about $500 back at invoice on every deal. Nothing crazy, but on Hondas, margins aren't really big either, so you got to keep that into account.
Yeah.
So $500 back at invoice, no doc fee. You back it out of the deal. It's still on the contract, but you back it out of the deal.
Yeah, that's how it always is, yeah.
So they knew anytime. If some of them have CDK, they run their own numbers. Some of them don't have CDK, so they rely on you to run numbers. And that's it, bro. Nice and simple. They tell me, is this available? Yes, it is. Okay, great. I'll pitch it to the client. Send me the credit app. Let's get it approved. But the thing was with Honda too, we were doing a lot of first-time buyer leasing programs because back then they had the craziest first-time buyer lease program.
Okay.
So all you had to do was show proof of income of 38 grand a year. This is back in 2018.
Okay, yeah.
Nothing crazy. 0 score to a 600 or above, and you got approved at tier 1 with tier 1 rates.
What?
The only thing was you got approved 90% of MSRP for the LTV on the lease. So even on a Civic or an Accord, depending which model, I'd need anywhere from $1,500 to $3 grand down. And you're on a 3612 lease, $250 to $350 a month.
Dang.
Show me something better for a first-time buyer out there.
Yeah.
And if you want to get, I'm sorry for cutting you off, and if you want to get out of it in a year, it's a Honda.
Right.
Almost loses what? Maybe you'll have a grand or two of negative equity.
Yeah,
Nothing
especially
crazy.
at those discounts and stuff. For those that don't know, LTV stands for loan to value. But he just kind of, like, he's done so many of these deals, he just did those numbers real quick in his head. I mean, that's kind of what happens when you're in the car business for so long. But basically what he's saying is, you want to kind of simplify it and tell him what you just kind of said about the formula?
So the best way to put it is, even with the discount that we were providing these clients, if you're getting approved at 90% of MSRP, let's just take easy numbers, right? $100,000, 90% of that's $90K. On that car, you'd need 10 grand down to get there. That's all it is. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, and that's crazy to think about. So, okay. So that was like a program that was going out at that time, and so you were able to move a lot of cars that way.
80% of the deals that were done between those 25 to 29 a month were first-time buyer leases.
Yeah, I remember Volkswagen doing something with, they did something with graduates. I just sold a BMW X5 to a friend of mine. It was a pre-owned one, or else I would have hit you up. Don't worry, relax.
Okay.
Relax.
Yeah,
you guys
it was
didn't have
building.
it. All right, I know. You guys didn't have it.
You know that now I can actually get cars from any of the 120 stores we have, right?
No, I didn't know that. What kind of store?
It's called venturing into Sonic Land.
Oh.
So we get to be able to just kind of pick a car from any one of those. We got like 8,000 cars online. And so far I have yet to like actually go and look for one that's online and like it's not available, you know?
Oh, so you can trade pre-owned cars?
Yes.
Wow. That's good to know. I'm glad you told me that because I would have just done that. So this was an AutoNation store.
Okay. They have that same capability, I think.
I'm sure they do, but I don't know anybody else at AutoNation.
Yeah, so
I mean, maybe I do, but I didn't really.
You didn't really dig?
Yeah, I didn't dig that hard. But yeah, he was telling me that there was a Volkswagen program where graduates would get some kind of, it was like a 1% interest rate.
Damn.
Yeah, back in the day. I mean, that stuff was kind of normal, man. I mean, think about like 2-3% interest rates back in the day. I mean, that was kind of
back
normal.
in the day when? 2-3 years ago?
I mean, even 2-3 years ago.
You getting 199, 299, you can get 0. I mean, how many times do we have 0.99 and 199 at Audi?
Yeah, a lot. So, okay, so you were doing the fleet at Lexus, and then what happened? I mean, sorry, Honda.
And me and the GM kind of had a falling out. Yeah, it is what it is. It happens. We get older, and we learn to mature and know which battles to pick and fight. That way we don't lose our jobs.
Right, exactly.
Also, the struggles of being a young 20-year-old kid and really not knowing the way.
Yeah.
And from there, went out on my own for a little bit, brokered.
Okay.
Because I was like, you know what? I'm just going to turn around and do this the opposite way. Instead of having to do 25, 26, 27 cars a month to make my living, I'll just do it as a broker and sell, maybe 10 of them.
Okay.
Easier that way to go about it. Did that on and off for a little bit. And then decided enough of Miami. I was just getting into trouble like an idiot.
Okay.
Came up here, uncle's up here, and worked with him for a little bit. Butted heads again.
Yeah.
Family and business just don't mix well.
Family and business never go hand in hand.
And because of him, I found out about Audi, where me and you met.
Okay.
And then that kicked off.
Yeah, because he was already doing a lot of deals there, buying cars and stuff. Yeah.
And then that kicked off what was the next best almost 3 years of my career.
Yeah. And you don't have to go too deep into it, but you were in a bit of a pickle just in life, like right before you came to Audi, right? Like you came with nothing almost, right? Like you came and I honestly, when I was at Audi, that's kind of the way it was for me too, a little bit. Luckily my family is super supportive of everything, and they have always had my back, but I've always tried to stand up on my own feet, so I haven't had it. I'll be the first to admit that I've never had it as tough as maybe some people out here, but I know you came with, nothing, and you just put your head down and grinded.
Yeah,
and
man.
that's what set you apart, I kind of did the same thing when I first started at Audi. The people there, they want to get to know you. You're the new guy and stuff. And I would be nice. I'd be cordial with everyone. But my priority was keeping my thumb on the phone and waiting for the phone to ring. And
that's right. You were on the floor. I forgot
I was
about
on the
that.
floor. You were in the internet the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the thumb on the trigger. As soon as that phone rings, boom, you hit it. And my whole goal was to kind of start from the top down in terms of earning respect, right? Some people go into a dealership and they try to earn respect from the peers first and then go up. I wanted to do it the other way, and it worked out for me.
It's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
If you can get the respect of your GM, GSM, and your other sales managers before you get the respect of your peers, it's trickle down. It'll all come.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not there looking to make friends. You're there to make car deals, and you don't have to step on people's toes while you're doing that.
Right.
You can do it in a polite and cordial way, like you said.
100%.
And that's it. Just show them that you're there to work.
100%. Yeah, so that's what I did, man. And okay, so then you got the gig at Audi. So based on all the other stores that you may have been to and stuff like that before, what was it like? So this was your first kind of more luxury brand, I guess, right? Or no?
I mean, Lexus was considered Highline.
Yeah, luxury, yeah.
But it's not German, you know? So
Yeah.
yes, this was like first German Highline.
Right.
And on top of that too, I mean, so not only are we stepping into the Highline after not being in it for a while,
Yeah.
also the amount of freedom that we were given as salespeople.
At Audi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and
exactly.
that was what made it as fun and as capable as a lot of stuff was in our control. And you know what they say in this business? Control the controllables.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you got more stuff that you can control. Guess what? I'm gonna make more deals.
Yeah, exactly. No, when I first started there, man, so you guys can watch some of the other episodes to get a deeper dive into my story, but I was at a bunch of other dealerships before, and I had a tremendous amount of gratitude when I came to Audi because of what I went through
Oh yeah.
at the other stores, like not getting paid fairly, not getting paid transparently, getting paid a mini even though I held gross. Like, I mean, you know, that,
Like, what are we doing here?
yeah, exactly. So I think one of the biggest key things for me at Audi, I was tracking every single one of my deals, every single one of my commissions for like the first month or two.
Yeah, we all had the same spreadsheet.
Yeah. But when I started seeing that they were just transparent, they weren't hiding anything, and they actually cared about us, I literally just took
You
off.
stopped.
Yeah, I took off, and I didn't have to sit there and dedicate time to pulling up my Excel sheet, putting deals on there. It's like, it was literally like a family, you know, and that's why, and then like you said, they gave you, once you kind of proved yourself, they gave you some autonomy, right? And that's true for a lot of dealerships, but I think with a lot of dealerships nowadays, and you can tack onto this if you want, but I think that there's a lot of old heads in the business.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of stuck in their ways, doing things the way that they've always done, which is fine, whatever, it worked for them. If y'all want to run your store that way, that's fine. But I just don't think that works anymore, man. I think things have changed, times have changed, and you just have to adapt. You can't just be stuck in the same spot. But anyways, yeah, so when you were given that desk and that computer at Audi, it was literally like your own little business. Like you got out there, you hustled, everything you sold was yours. Like, I mean, so once you kind of prove yourself, you don't have to have management come in and do the deals. They trust you to close the deal yourself. You put all the paperwork together properly, and you just you make sure it's just like a golf swing. You got to follow through all the way. And if you don't, then even if you lift your head before you swing all the way, just like a golf swing, you're just going to miss it. So it's just crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's, and
Processes, bro. That's what it all is. It's repetition. The more you do it, the easier it becomes.
Exactly.
And it's plain and simple. You
Yeah.
sit down, you greet them, you figure out what they're looking for, you go demo the car. And again, working at that brand, it was great because there wasn't a whole lot of sales involved. People always ask me, how'd you like it moving up to this coming from those brands prior? Well, my job's gotten a lot easier.
Yeah.
All I got to do is show up, have a smile on, make a friend, and the car pretty much sold itself. So here we
Literally.
are. I'm just here to do the paperwork.
You're just here to do the paperwork. Yeah, literally. No, and I think there's a lot. So this happened to me too when I was younger, right? I kept shooting for the exotic car stores because that's where my passion was or is. And I would keep shooting for those stores, but I'm not going to lie to you, almost every store I went to didn't have that transparency and the fairness of what you got paid. I mean, I've worked at stores where they never even showed me a comp plan. I was just so eager. Yeah, I was just so, and that's probably my naivety too, but like, I just was so eager to get in the store and just be around that environment and get that experience. I didn't really, like, I cared, but I didn't, obviously.
You just wanted to be there overseeing all the fine print in between.
Yeah, and then not only that, just be in that environment and see what it's like and see if this is something that I like, which I did on a day-to-day basis. But then when the money wasn't adding up,
We all like what we do and the money makes sense.
yeah, of course, yeah, no. So that's to say that for people that are watching, I think, don't sleep on some of these, dealerships. I mean, some Chevy stores you can make thousands of dollars. You're going to be running a lot more deals and maybe get burnt out that way. But I like the idea of kind of starting at these mid-level luxury brands and just finding a store. I was telling, DeAndre, obviously, he was on the pilot. I was telling DeAndre the fact that, Audi was a Magna store, I think that was a huge thing because to get that kind of award, you have to meet certain milestones.
You got to go above and
dealership.
beyond.
Yeah. So.
And it comes from the clients, not from anybody in the brand itself. It's all about the customer service index.
Exactly.
That's where it all stems from, especially a Magna Elite store.
Yeah. So I think, and you can add on to this too. Yeah, I think it depends on what market you're in too.
Oh, 100%.
Meaning to like which store you choose to go to.
So, coming from South Florida, I mean, the go-to was Lexus. You got it the same way how like you see all the Audis riding around here and the BMWs around here. Mm-hmm. Every other car in North Miami and South was a Lexus.
Right.
Everybody had what we called the Miami Heat Special, an IS 250 white on red with the heat tag in the back. Like that's every other car. That's what it was. It was a $399 lease special.
Okay.
Where else are you getting something like that for that kind of price? And at one point it was $299. Dang. When I started working at Lexus, I mean the GS 350 was a $469, I think, sign and drive lease for a $62K car.
Wow. Yeah.
Go find that now. And for the people watching, that's under 1% of MSRP on a lease, which is a pretty strong lease program.
That is a strong lease program. So when it comes to like Atlanta, for example, right? I think Atlanta is a good mid-level luxury brand if you want some consistency and stability, right? Because when you think about your income, you have to think of the stability of it. But Atlanta, I'm not going to sit here and say there aren't a bunch of exotics here, but it's not like it's LA, SoCal, even San Francisco or Miami, right? These guys are changing their Lambos out every 6 months to a year, if that, right?
Probably even sooner time frames.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They can get annoyed about the littlest thing and they'll be like, yeah, I don't want it.
I'll never forget, man. I had a client that if the car came with a crease in the bolster, no deal.
Really?
Brand new car. I had to be the one to put it onto the trailer as it was getting shipped over to him in Texas. He was like, I don't want the driver doing it. He's like, when it arrives here, I'm going to do it myself. And mind you, bro, I was over 300 pounds at the time. This was not easy.
Oh,
this is like back in my heavier days at Audi. So I'm here trying to maneuver through this little side door and not hit any. Dude, I did gymnastics in this RS5.
In an RS5?
Yes.
Oh my God. So that was the car that he bought, and he said if it has a crease, then I don't want it? Mm-hmm. Wow. It was a new car?
Brand new.
Okay.
Why I had to send him. Tech drove it, PDI, who knows? I mean, somebody that doesn't know how to get in and out of a car with those kind of bolsters, it's going to crease right away.
Yeah.
And that was his biggest concern. And the guy's got a 40-mile Evo or something like that sitting in his garage, right? Sitting right next to the RS5, which only has.
Evo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get rid of it, by the way. Actually, I think I sent you the info a couple weeks ago.
Wait, what? Huracan Evo?
We'll go.
Yeah, you'll send it. Wait, what color is it?
Grigio Telesto, I think.
Grigio Telesto.
Yeah.
If anybody wants a Grigio Telesto Huracan Evo, is it a Spider or coupe?
Coupe.
If anybody wants a Grigio Telesto Huracan Evo coupe, hit me up.
And it's got the 15K Akrapovic exhaust done from the factory or store or whatever. I don't know how they come on those, but it's on there.
No, like the new Lamborghini Urus Performantes, they come with the Akrapovic exhaust from factory.
Do they?
You can get it spec that way. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been seeing them. I was at the store. You get the I saw the little Akrapovic logo on the exhaust. I was like, wait, what?
First time I ever saw that company was on an RS7 Performance that we took in on trade. Fun time.
What year was the RS7?
I think it was a 17 or 18 Performance.
I think that Audi on that generation RS7 did put a Akrapovic exhaust as an option. I think.
I'm like 90%.
Did it say Audi
sure.
Sport on it?
No.
It didn't? Maybe. I know they did it with one of the cars or something like that. I forgot. But okay. So for the people that are watching, right?
Yeah.
You've obviously, this is your 8th year anniversary coming up, or it's here. What is, and I ask this to everybody on the show, what is your advice to somebody that's watching right now that maybe has thought about getting in the car business, either they thought about getting in the car business or they are passionate about cars and they've always wanted to get into it. They just don't know how or the best way to start.
Easiest way to go about it, just do what I did. Walk in with a suit and tie on, tell them you're ready to sell cars. When they start asking you questions, just be personable. If you're one of those people that knows how to talk to people and knows how to not necessarily get your way, but figure out what somebody's hot point is and then use that in order to solve their issue, it's the perfect business for you. And at the end of the day, I always, we like to laugh about it. Car sells this, car sells that, but it's not so much the car. You're selling yourself as a service. Because what I do for my clients is going above and beyond, and our relationship really only starts once the sale's made. I'm there for service. I'm there when they call at 11 o'clock when they have an issue with their flat, or they need the roadside number, or they need this, or they need that. And I always like to tell them and joke around and say, enjoy it now. I got no wife, no kids, no girlfriend. Once one of those three things changes, the 11 o'clock answering is going away.
Yeah, no, exactly. So let's say there's somebody sitting in let's say there's someone sitting in a city that's in the middle of nowhere, kind of. Maybe not in the middle of nowhere, but I mean,
not a bigger city like ours, like Miami, Atlanta, New York, something smaller. You're saying?
Yeah, I mean even smaller, like
off the beaten path.
Yeah, let's say like Kentucky or somewhere in Iowa or Idaho. What would you say to someone like that versus someone that maybe lives in, let's say, like Houston or Dallas or Atlanta or Miami or LA? Like, there's different approaches and angles to each of them, I think.
So in the smaller town, it's going to be a lot easier for you to market yourself by going around to different establishments and making sure that everybody knows who you are and what you do. In the bigger towns, like where we're in, it's a lot easier to at least start building from relying on the dealership's own pipeline. I mean, the store that I'm at now, we see 60 floor ups on a Saturday. Mm-hmm. That's insanity.
Right. Right.
So
the store you're at now, you mean? Yeah.
If you go ahead and you do that, you play your cards right, you get in front of 5-6 different people every Saturday, you follow up, you do what you're supposed to do, you'll probably see 3 car deals out of that throughout the week, and then you set up again next Saturday.
Right. Yeah. No, and you slowly build it up that way.
And then eventually those people that you met through incoming from the dealership, that's going to be your own generation of a referral pipeline.
Mm-hmm. So let's say that, do you think that you need sales experience, and do you need to be extroverted?
Extroverted, yes. Sales experience, no.
Really?
Absolutely.
Dude, I know somebody at the Porsche store here in Atlanta, the one that I worked at. His name is Duffy. Duffy sells a ton of cars.
Okay.
And he's been there. He started as a porter or washed cars or something at the Porsche dealership. Super introverted, light-spoken kind of guy, right? This guy sells a ton of cars. And that was the first time that challenged my thought that, okay, yeah, you got to be extroverted to sell cars. But it helps. I think it helps. It helps to be extroverted. But this guy just kills it, and he's introverted. So if you're introverted out there...
let me not take that away. I'm sorry.
No, yeah,
It still can work. I'm just saying that's usually where it's the most... you can shine the most in that sense.
You can definitely shine the most. The more... I've always been told that ever since I was a kid, that I got the gift of gab and all that. So whatever that means, But yeah, that's a huge key component to it. And I think, so what about the guys in Miami or like bigger cities? What do you think?
That's what I'm saying. Like here, it's a lot easier to just be able to go in and rely on that dealership as your own source in the beginning. And
but
again,
I'm saying, like, would you go to like a
what
Honda
kind of brand?
Or let's talk brands. Like, what's a good brand to start at?
If you want to get your foot in the water, you can dip it in with one of the lower brands, because you got to, I don't want to say lower, worse, better, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The budget-friendly cars at Honda and Toyota is a great way to get your feet wet,
Yeah.
You got high volume, high traffic, and just an insane amount of cars being turned out. So it's going to be very sink or swim.
Right.
You're either going to get it or you're not.
Right.
And that's a good way for you to learn. Because
Right.
then if you do decide to move on to something that's a little bit more highline and it slows down, you already have the tools in place to know, okay, this isn't, you just got to take a breath. There's not going to be every day is a perfect day.
Right.
because sometimes it gets real slow in the Highline stores. You go 3-4 days without selling something, then boom, you hit a Saturday, you hit 3 cars, and you're like,
Yep.
okay, never mind, I'm actually good at what I do.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I've had so many.
The emotional roller coaster.
Oh my God.
Be prepared for that. That is
The
insane.
dry spell is real sometimes, man. And then that one Saturday comes, you're like, oh, hat trick, which means 3 cars in one day or more, right? So that's interesting, right? Because I would say no matter what type of city you're in, go to now, would you start at a new car store? Would you tell them to start at a new car store or start at a used car? Like, these used car lots. Because
I've done
that's what I did.
I've done one independent dealer in my life, and I'm just gonna say I'm never going back.
That's the last time you did?
It's never happening. They're built different.
Yeah.
Not knocking them. God bless
Yeah.
them. They're just built different.
They are built different. Well, that's the thing is some independent stores, as long as they have a really good reputation, maybe
They're
you
run
can get away
properly.
with it. Yeah. But
The majority kind of outshines the rest of them in a bad light.
Right.
Kind of like the rest of car salespeople. We have a negative stigma. I mean, I think I looked it up the other day. We are the second or third least trusted profession behind lawyers and politicians. So where does that put us?
that's
What does that say?
That's pretty rough. No, I don't. Yeah, that. I mean, I could see that. I could see that for sure. No, yeah. I mean, that's. I just saw someone arguing about that because I forgot his name. He was saying that the fact that you called me a used car salesman is the.
It already has a bad connotation to it.
Yeah. If you said I'm a car salesman, that's fine. But you said used car salesman. But anyways, so that's what I mean. I started at a used car store, but he took me around the lot and was just like, "Hey, here's your desk, here's your phone, here's your computer. When that thing rings, sell a car." And I still end up selling 10, 12 cars. But that's also due to the fact that I'm actually passionate about cars. I'm not just looking at it as a job.
It's a career.
Yeah, I know some. Yeah, exactly. I know some guys that are at Audi that just look at it as a job. Like, dude, I don't know and I don't care. Like, do you want it or not? Type of thing.
Yeah, that approach used to work years ago. That
Yeah.
approach doesn't really work today because you got clients who are more educated. They expect a better experience out of everything. And then on top of that too, I mean, the way that social media has changed everything. You give somebody a bad experience and they're going to bash you on social media. They're going to bash you on your Google reviews. They're going to bash you on Dealer Rater.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're public enemy number one.
Yep.
Nobody's coming to ask for you when they walk in if they've looked at any of the reviews.
Right.
And it's like, why even put yourself into a position like that to the point where you tell a client, like, I don't need to know or I don't want to know.
Right.
We'll learn together.
No, exactly.
If I don't know it, I'm not going to make up some answer. I'm going to tell you, sorry, I don't know it. And this is a learning experience for the both of us.
Exactly.
I'm glad we got to both be a part of it.
Exactly. And I think just like anything else in life, you have to start with the end in mind. If you want to work your way up to the exotics and things like that, just know that so let's say you're just getting started. I would say, yeah, go to a Honda, Toyota, even Lexus. Try your luck at somewhere like Audi.
It's those are both good entry-level luxury brands. Because let's be real, Audi still has Porsche above it, and Lexus, while it's still up there, everybody's still just like, it's a nicer Toyota.
Exactly. And those volume stores, the fact that you have more people rotating in front of your desk because there's more buyers for that pool of car, you're just creating more opportunity for yourself to learn the business that way.
Absolutely.
Right? So there's just a higher turnover rate. And then when you do that for a year or two and you prove yourself, then you can go to a place like Audi or even Mercedes or something. Just know that when you start stepping into the Mercedes and Porsche realm, let's say your end goal was to get into the exotics, right? I will tell you this right now. When you go to an exotic car dealership for the first, I want to say, year or even 2 years, you're going to be eating shit.
Yeah.
Like
It's slow.
You're not going to make the money that the guys that have been there for 4 or 5 years, the type of money that they're making.
No, because you don't just get to order those specific cars that make you the money and expect them to come in your first 12 months of being there.
Exactly.
That's not how it works at those stores.
Exactly. So when I tell people when they ask me, some of the progression that I think about is try and go to a store like Audi because you don't need that book of business because
No.
they also have a decent amount of volume wherever those stores are. They have a decent amount of volume for you to have that rotation. But then maybe step into somewhere like BMW, because BMW guys progress into Porsche really easily, right?
Well, a lot of my older RS clients, I mean, I'm having a pretty decent time converting them over to M cars right now. I mean, you want to talk about a live switch from Audi to BMW, here I am.
Yeah. Wait, what car to what car?
From Audi to BMW.
Audi sport cars to BMW.
Yeah. I mean, again, RS3, M2, they're competitors. M3, G80 with the RS5, competitors, same price point, same everything. You know, I don't know if you saw, I posted up the M3 I sold the other day.
Yeah. I saw that.
Slowly, I mean, dude, they're really becoming my favorite car on the market, bang for buck. I mean, when you look at the price point, it's like, where else are you getting something that's this fun to drive?
Mm-hmm. No, exactly. So, no, that's the thing, right? Is that it eventually and one thing I want to say is keep your own book of business. Like, keep that Excel Google sheet.
So I didn't. I just have my cell phone. I messed up.
You just had your cell phone?
I just have my cell phone. But at the same token, though, 99.9% of anybody who's going to reach out to me down the line
they already know
has
your number.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah,
the hardest part is trying to send out a mass text message.
Yeah. You know I figured that out, right?
We'll talk more about it after.
Yeah. No, I started doing that. I mean, but so if your ultimate goal is to get to some of these exotic car dealerships, keep your book of business is the one asset that
you take with you.
Take with you. And the only way you build that asset is one customer at a time and taking care of them. Like, that's the only way that you're going to build that book of business. And when you start getting into the Porsche stores and things of that nature, when you walk into a dealership like that, they're going to ask you, what does your book of business look like? Or what is your experience like? And when you have that confidence and the conviction to say, I got a list of like 300, 400 people that are ready to go, right? Because those stores understand that there are multiple Porsche stores that one client could go to. Why are they going to want to come here?
Because
of us. Even with Audi, right? Even in Atlanta, there's 3-4 different Audi stores here. Why are they going to buy a car from your store with you versus the other guy?
What did they tell us when your first 2 months of car training ever you got in your life? The most popular phrase you hear is people buy from people they like.
People buy from people they like.
Plain 100%. And simple. And that's always how it works.
Yeah.
Whether you're going to do something that's going to set you out apart or not from the rest of the pack, whether it's how you follow up, whether it's how you take care of the client, whether it's how you present your product, those are all things that are going to stand you out from the rest of them and then allow you to do that. Right.
So let's talk about some... I mean, you have to have some crazy stories, bro. Right? Like, you got some crazy stories that you could talk about?
I mean, I'm not sure how many are, like, eligible to be spoken on about camera, but, I mean, this is, like, one of the craziest ones, I think, ever. You ever ended up taking a car in on trade from somebody, selling it back to them.
You can get a little crazy, it's okay.
Selling it back to them, getting it on trade again.
Wait, you take in a car in on trade, you sell it back to them?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then getting it on trade again?
From that person?
Yep.
Why?
Wife went ballistic on him a month after he made the purchase. And
what?
We couldn't unwind it at that point. So he ended up taking a $20K haircut between taxes, fees, and non-cancelable maintenances and warranties that he got that time around.
Oh my God! What car?
From an S6 into an RS7, and then from the RS7 back into the S6.
Wait, so the S6 that he traded in, you guys bought it? He bought it back?
Yes.
But paid a premium for it?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. So he trades in his S6, takes a haircut because obviously the dealership's going to buy it at wholesale. And then he buys a brand new RS7.
Used.
Oh, used RS7?
2,000 miles on it, yeah.
But it was probably still sticker.
$5,000 less than sticker.
$5,000 less than sticker. And then wife goes ballistic.
Mm-hmm.
He trades the RS7
back in towards the S6.
Do you remember how much?
So total, it was a 20K haircut between everything.
Oh my god.
Because I got a very long message about it after, and then he came and bought another car for me after.
But like
3
long
months
message
later.
wasn't anything.
No. Just he itemized every penny and every dollar that he lost out between the taxes, between tag fees, between this, between everything.
Why did his wife go ballistic?
She was like, "You don't need to be driving that kind of a flashy car, honey. You need to go. You got to get rid of it."
Wow.
That's the phone call that I took, and that was my face when he told me that. Yeah, I was like, I don't want to do this to you. I was like, I don't want to do this to you.
Flashy like that, bro. Yikes. But anyways, wow. Okay, what else you got?
What? How bad do you want it to get? Because I mean, I can make it bad.
Like something intriguing, but you know, nothing. Something intriguing. Is it bad? Like I don't know how bad. I don't know how bad your bad is.
I mean, it gets pretty bad with me. That's why I'm worried.
I mean, as long as you don't think anyone would get offended.
That rules out most of my stories.
That rules out most of it. Yeah, just say whatever crazy story you want.
Well, this one's a bit more personal. So I I totaled out my car.
Okay.
You remember the RS GT?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know you totaled it out.
Yeah, last year.
What?
Uh-huh.
Were you good?
Yeah, no, I'm fine, dude. You know,
Yeah.
thank God. Carbon fiber roof saved my life.
Wow.
So I had always had hoopties in my life, right? That was
Right.
like one of the first nice cars I ever had.
Yeah.
And I'm also not from a place with cold weather.
Okay.
So it was like 4 or 5 millimeters of tread left on my tires. And it was like 30 degrees outside.
In Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I took a curve at 40 miles an hour.
Bro.
Yeah. It just completely lost traction into the curb. Carbon ceramic brake shattered because it was so cold. Popped the curb with just enough force to go
Wait,
like...
carbon ceramic brake.
Yeah. Shattered.
Shattered.
Into a million pieces. Yeah.
Okay.
Popped the curb with just enough energy to like make it momentum-wise to tap the light pole. Because my front bumper was completely fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then just got to watch it fall down slowly on my head.
But the carbon fiber roof saved it from like.
Had I had the glass panoramic, imagine that instead of the carbon fiber roof. It completely dented it in.
Oh my god.
It was like a 400-pound light pole.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was talking more about like crazy deals, but that's a crazy story. Dang, bro.
Deal-wise, I want to say the craziest deal I've ever done is actually pretty recently. I managed to get percentage-wise 14% off on an electric car.
Oh my god.
On a customer-facing deal, not an employee deal, because you know the employee.
No,
deals
yeah. No, I get. Oh, I know. I was just talking about this. I mean, even the Taycans.
Oh my god.
Brand new, like a base or even an S, roughly like 120, 110, 120. You can pick those up for 70 grand now.
Yeah. I mean, look at the RS GT, perfect example. That car, when it came out, was a 164 sticker.
Uh-huh.
You can get one with less than 10,000
And the
miles.
RS, not just a normal GT.
Not the regular.
Yeah, right.
Which is like what, the Taycan Turbo S essentially? Or the old gen?
GT?
Yeah. The RS
No.
GT? Tri-motor. Wouldn't it be the same thing? Not the new
Technically,
Taycan Turbo
but
S.
power-wise, I think it's more equal to a 4S GTS.
Okay.
I think.
Well, whatever.
Because the
Same
Turbo
ballpark.
S is insane.
Same ballpark.
How much horsepower does that have?
637, I think, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So GTS.
2.8, 2.90 to
Yeah,
60.
yeah,
I mean, it was a blast.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can pick those up for like 60 grand, bro. 65, 70K now.
Are you serious?
Less than 10K miles. But I would never finance an EV. It just
Why?
depreciation curve. It's never going to offset. I literally turn clients down who
No,
try
but if
and
you
tell
pick
me
it
they're
up
trying
at
to buy
60,
one.
65 grand,
I still wouldn't do it.
it's still flat. It's probably going to flat right there.
You really think so?
Actually, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It hasn't looked like it's flattened out for anybody yet. I mean, you can pick up one of those Model 3s for like 20 G's now.
Oh my god.
Is that not insane?
Dude. Yeah. I don't want to. Yeah. I mean, I hate bringing this up. It's just one of the craziest examples that I know of. The Ferrari SF90.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those things were touching 900,000 when they came out. And now they're in the 4s and 5s, if you're lucky.
Yeah, I mean, it's look, anything that has any kind of battery in it depreciates more rapidly because that technology is so ever changing. That's the reality of it.
Dude, and that's exactly what I told every single client that came into Audi that was trying to buy an EV car.
You don't buy them, you lease them.
You
Plain and
lease
simple.
them.
That way the depreciation is not on you. So here, you want crazy deal, crazy story?
Mm-hmm.
Here's two of them. One, Audi e-tron S financed during, a couple of, what was it, 3 years ago when rates were real nice and low?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like a 199 or 299 rate, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Payoff, this is 4 or 5 months ago, 85 grand.
Okay.
ACV, yes. And ACV stands for actual cash value for anybody who's watching who doesn't know what that is, which is basically what the dealership determines the car is actually worth in their eyes.
ACV on an e-tron S?
Yeah.
How many miles?
About 20,000.
65. Lower than that? 55. No.
I swear to God, bro.
Did it have an accident on it?
No.
Clean
facts.
Carfax? 45? Bro, stop.
40.
40,000 for the ACV. Why?
Payoff is 85.
Bro. What? 40,000, $45,000 upside down.
Mm-hmm. And then here's another one that's 45 G's also. I had a client, I'll never forget this. This is why I stopped anybody who wants to come purchase one, like finance, buy cash, whatever, I turn them down after this deal. Took a year and 2 months until I finally sold this guy a car, following up with him consistently, whatever. He bought 7 cars in that meantime, right?
Uh-huh.
Finally got him on an e-tron GT.
Uh-huh.
He came into the deal with $60K of equity. This is in
Okay.
February.
This February?
No, last year.
Okay.
We're in August last year. I tried to pull him out of the car in June.
Uh-huh.
He had about 25K of equity left.
Uh-huh.
August came. That's 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
15K of equity left. He lost 45 G's in 6 months. Pulled him out of that, gave him back the 15 grand, put him into a lease, and I was like, don't ever buy an electric car ever again.
Yeah.
You don't buy them. You lease them.
You never buy them.
You can't.
You lease them, and ideally you have a business where you can write the payments off or something.
And even if you don't, who cares? At least it's a cheaper lease payment, and on top of that, you're
Right.
not paying for gas. I've done the math plenty of times. I had one.
Yeah.
You come out ahead paying for charging, and on top of that too. I mean, I didn't pay out all the time because I had one at work,
Yeah.
but also had one in my apartment complex, which
Right.
like most people do.
Right. Yeah, no, I tell everybody that these are not cars anymore. These are literally no different than your iPhone.
They're upgraded every single year. That's the best example, and that's one of the ones that I give my clients all the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you think happens to your iPhone after the new one comes out? It's got a bigger battery, nicer screen, nicer this, nicer that. That's the same thing with these cars. There's too much tech in it. It's
Right.
overpriced to begin with, and that's why they have to throw those massive discounts on them to make them make sense on a lease.
Right.
It's a lot of money into the R&D and that stuff.
No, for sure. And I just think that, yeah, it's just a piece of technology on wheels, and the rate at which technology improves, like you're not going to have the same depreciation curve that you do on combustion engine cars.
No, because it's tried and true.
Yeah, which I think inversely speaking, especially in the luxury and exotic segment, that's going to firm up the value on combustion engine cars. Like, let's talk about like the R8, for example.
Don't make me mad, dude.
The V10 R8, I mean, it's the last V10.
They got rid of their swan song. I mean, I got lucky enough. I got to sell one of the last ones from the production line.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
It's awesome, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm still friends with the guy. I met up with him last time I was down in Florida.
Yeah.
Took a spin.
Yeah. No. I mean, I think that guys that have R8s, I think some guys should even start stockpiling them, to be honest with you.
Look, where else are you getting a V10 in that kind of body, for that kind of price point too?
But have you seen the Lamborghini Temerario?
I just saw it got released yesterday, I think.
It's a V8
Twin turbo hybrid system.
twin turbo hybrid that pushes 900 horsepower. And that's their like Huracan platform or
Yeah.
whatever. That's not even the Revuelto.
Which me and you also know that Audi, when we were there, they had the plans of discontinuing the R8, and then on top of that, to try and make some kind of RSGT coupe successor to the R8. Mm-hmm. I don't think that that's the future, but what do I know?
Yeah. Well, one thing that I want to pick your brain about specifically with you is your success leveraging Facebook.
Oh yeah.
Right? How did you, what are your, like, give your scoop on that in terms of, new people that are watching, because you had a tremendous amount of success leveraging Facebook, right?
So
Pause it right there. I'm going to cut it here just so we have that file saved.
Dude.
Roll it!
All right.
Action.
So one thing I want to ask you is, this is very specific to you because you're one of the only guys that I know of personally that has really leveraged Facebook, right? Now, everyone thinks that Facebook's this dying breed of social media, but talk about the level of success that you've gotten, like what it did for you, and maybe some advice you can give to these guys.
So I think one of the biggest things with Facebook is that a lot of people think that it just means selling cars on Marketplace, and that's not the case at all.
Nope.
If you're going to be sitting there and going through Marketplace, you will be wasting a lot of time compared to what you could be doing. And what I did and what I capitalized on really was getting into the right groups. The right groups with the right people, and being able to expose yourself in front of them, and just getting that kind of exposure for you is the key, really. Because those people now, I'm their go-to guy. I got really lucky a few years back when everybody was still charging over sticker. We didn't charge over. Not one of those specialty cars that got delivered out of state. No addendum, no nothing.
Yep.
And those people will probably never go into their local dealership ever again, because when they did, they tried to whack them over the head for 20, 30, 40 grand over sticker.
Exactly.
So now whenever they have any kind of question, any kind of anything,
they're not going to that dealership.
they call me. They text me, they call me. I don't care if it's 11 o'clock at night, like I mentioned earlier. If it's 1 o'clock, I got clients on the West Coast. Sure, they can text me at 9 p.m. I don't care.
Yeah.
I like to talk cars.
No, yeah, dude, that's exactly what I was saying.
All it is.
When you actually love what you do, it's not a job. It's just a part of your lifestyle. Like, it's just, you happen to make money doing it, but you just love doing it. So, and anybody that's out there, you got to find that thing that's for you. But, so with Facebook, I think another really key thing, if you're just getting started in sales, is add every single client. I don't care what car they buy from you. Add them on Facebook. You want to know why?
Yep.
Or Instagram. Because everybody is on their phone, getting on social media. I don't care who you are. You're getting on your phone. Granted, there are those, needles in a haystack of people that are like, I don't do social media, whatever. But for a majority of people, dude, they're getting on social media all the time. They see you post stuff about a car you sold or clients you're sitting with or whatever, and that person that bought a car from you 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they're constantly seeing you, so you're staying at the forefront of
their
mind.
Yep.
And then they're sitting at dinner with their friends, and they want a new car, then they hit you up, they connect to you. That's happened to me so many times, and I wish I started that sooner. But
it's okay, we live and learn.
We live and learn. But I'm trying to help these guys, shorten that learning curve. So, but anyways, so Facebook was huge for you, and
Absolutely.
You're saying because, so the store that we used to work at, the franchise group, we did not sell over MSRP.
Nope.
At a time where cars were going 20, 30, in the Audi world, like 20, 30.
Even more. I mean, the
Like
record was that
RS6.
that RS6 in Texas for 100K. No, 100K over.
Wow. And it was just a regular R6.
It wasn't anything crazy.
It wasn't like a performance or
No.
GT. Anything. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and again, like those dealerships that charge that much, they
You profited the one time, but you lost countless customers along the way.
Even all the G-Wagon stores, man. Mercedes
of course.
stores. Can you imagine?
You can get them at what? Sticker? 5K under even some places now?
Right.
That's insane. They were bringing 150 to 200 over. That's a whole nother G-Wagon, bro.
I can't even. But people were still paying it because they just want the G-Wagon. It's crazy.
Well, money was cheap too back then,
Money was really cheap. So no, that's huge. So that's something to think about depending on where you want to sell to, I think. But all right, so we're getting close on time. So I want to say this last question, right? You got a 4-car garage. No budget.
What am I putting in it?
What are you putting in it?
Ooh. Well, I got to live my Paul Walker dream out. I need an R34 Skyline.
Okay. Interesting.
I want an Escalade V.
Dude, those
I want an
things are
Escalade V.
sick.
Yeah, I'm a
Those
big guy.
things.
It suits me, and that power is insane.
Yeah.
Beyond that,
What colors? for
oh,
both?
okay.
Let's talk a little specs.
So blue for the R34, obviously. What else is new? Escalade V. I'd probably just get it wrapped matte black, or do black regular, and then just do like a satin PPF
Stealth
on it.
PPF,
Yeah, stealth PPF. Up next, gated manual twin turbo R8.
Dang.
Yeah, one of those for sure.
Like a 15
Gen 1, yeah.
Gen 1, yeah. Dude, the first time I drove one of those cars when I was in California, man, I lost it.
Bro, it sounds like a fighter jet behind you, and you're just in control of it the whole way.
And
It's the most insane
The
thing
clink,
ever. Yeah.
clink, 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 clink. Like,
Each clink, you disappear a little bit more.
bro, you're just ear to ear the whole time.
I'm trying to think what would be number 4. Got an
Dude,
SUV.
unlimited budget. These are the cars
I'm
you're choosing.
yeah, but I'm a simple man, dude.
Okay,
I'm a simple man.
that's cool. The fourth one.
Damn, I really don't know. I mean, I want something like crazy, you know?
The world is yours.
You're more into the exotics than I am. I'm like, your average daily kind of car guy.
That's fine. Just choose whatever your fourth car would be.
One of those Cullinan black badges.
Okay. Even though you got the Escalade V?
Yeah, absolutely. One's for riding around and doing degenerate hooligan stuff. The other one's for like just cruising.
Yeah, or like a night out.
You know I'm gonna be spinning tires on an Escalade V.
Yeah. Dude, those things are just insane. I can't believe those cars.
All right, wait. So now I want to flip the script.
On me?
What's your 4-car garage? Let's hear this. I'm sure they want to hear.
This script always does get flipped on me on the episodes, and I don't know if I would stay the same as time goes on, but I know people talk shit about the Aventador because of the transmission or whatever the hell. And maybe when I drive it, I'll probably experience the same thing. But I have just always wanted an Aventador since I was a kid. And I don't know if that might switch to the Revuelto as time goes on, but I think I just got to get an Aventador. And I think I would do either an Aventador S. I want a Roadster.
Okay.
Because I get it. I get people when they say they want the coupe because it's more rigid or whatever, but I'm not tracking the car, bro. I'll get another car for tracking. I'm not tracking an Aventador.
You want people to see the Shahs of Sunset
Yeah,
spikes while
why
you're
do you
driving
think my
through the
hair
city.
slicked back, bro? Because I put the top down. No, but I like my Roadsters and I like my convertibles, and I like with the Aventadors the top of the window is like that blade, like that blade. It's called the bezeled window, so it has like a bezel on it, so it looks sick with the top off. And you can get those in carbon fiber. So either an Aventador S or the Ultimate would do that. That would be one of them. I think I would do... Man, now you got me mixed up because I want that R8 V10 gated one. But I think I would do a GT3 manual. Like a...
Okay.
I would do...
Which gen?
A 991.2 GT3.
So that's the 18, 19 models, right?
Yeah.
My Porsche chassis codes aren't the best. So okay.
No, yeah, 18, 19. And then I would do... Oh, my Aventador would be... Man. This might sound crazy, but there's like I forgot the name of the purple.
Viola.
Yeah, like Viola. There's a guy in London that him and his dad own that company. He's Pakistani, Pet. They had a color created on an Aventador, and he named it after his mom. I don't know why I can't think of his name. I'm sure I'll think of it later. If anybody's watching, you guys know what I'm talking about. But that color was sick, and I think I would just get that on my Aventador. Or balloon white's sick. GT3, this might sound crazy, but I kind of want Miami blue.
Why would that be crazy? It's a gorgeous color.
I know, I love that color. For Atlanta, I feel like it's loud, but if I was in Miami, which I most likely will end up be, that would be it. My third car, I feel like I need like a sedan that I would take out. I just love the Bentley, the new Bentley, the Bentley Flying Spurs, or like the new ones. And then my third car would have to be some kind of SUV. I think I would do Lamborghini Urus Performante.
Okay.
So those would be my 4 cars. But if I had 4 cars, that's just 4 cars. But I obviously have a whole list of cars that I'm going to have. But that's pretty much it, bro. But other than that, man, I think that kind of concludes the episode. I really appreciate
Dude, of course.
you
Thank you for
coming
having me.
out. It was awesome. And we'll have you back on in the future as you... For those of you that don't know, Julian is at BMW
Yes.
now.
I made the switch to the dark side.
So he went to the dark side.
Global Imports.
Global Imports here in Atlanta. If you need a BMW,
Come holla at your boy.
come holla at your boy. I'll pop your Instagram and stuff on the video. Hit him up or hit me up if you need anything. If you're looking to, sell your luxury or exotic car, I have a consignment business where I essentially will handle the entire transaction for you, list the cars, deal with any leads that come in while you're busy at work or spending time with your family. I make that process easy. And if you're locating any luxury or exotic car, I'll be happy to facilitate that too. My network and resources are pretty deep, not to boast or brag, but I can make it happen. And you just tell me exactly what you want. I go out there, I do all the negotiating, the back and forth. Sometimes I don't even have to because I have those relationships, and we get that car to your front door. So feel free to shoot me a message, send me a DM, send me an email, get in touch with me in any way you can, and we'll make it happen. But thanks again, man, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.